Live.
The some of the modules that we plan to do are not only the overview and the introduction, but we want to talk specifically about safety, which implies OSHA and guarding, and Cronite's overt liability description that describes what the requirements of safety are of a press operator, the foreman, and the owner of the company, as well as Cronite. Hand safety, operation and the sequence of operating some of the controls. Basically, that involves making sure that you start the press and then you put the impression trip in. And before you stop the press, you remove the impression trip and then stop the press, unless there's an emergency where you would just stop the press. We want to do a module on lubrication and maintenance, and another one with regards to the standardization of materials as a production a way of saving time and effort and money for preparing certain standard sizes. We're going to be talking in another module with regards to pre-press and job preparation. That would be starting with a job ticket, as well as adjusting many of the settings that are necessary in the press. And then we're going to talk through the three systems of inking, wiping, and pressure. We're going to start talking about those specifically with the wiping system first, because that's easiest to describe. Then the pressure system, which is second easiest to describe, with regards to also cutting counters and the different methods of doing it. And the inking system, which requires some intense work, anywhere from talking about preparing the viscosity of the ink, the different ink methods of storing it after you open up a can and put it back into the can if you're not going to use it, and what you can do and cannot do with certain inks. There's an awful lot to talk about with regards to inking. And then we get into the 2.5 things that a press operator needs to do, and that is make sure he doesn't have a broken line, he doesn't have a spitty impression, and that he has an acceptable bruise, because it's the ink on the paper that's the end resort, or the result of the complete effort of running the equipment. And one of the modules that we'll plan to do is to train with regards to how to set up an automatic feeder and get the paper through automatically rather than hand feeding it. Time out.